Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another day of Be Agile Scrum. Let's get started with the reminder as a code of honor that we follow as a guideline. I'm going to share my screen and then we straight away jump into the topic. This reminder is really quite vital for all of us before we begin the topic. So the very first one that because it says that Agile is full of ceremonies, and that's the reason you need to practice to show up live. And what does it mean? It means you be on time, remain punctual, and remain highly committed, because this demand is from Agile. And when you practice it as this training itself as a project, it will be quite easy for you to replicate once you get placed. And this is also said that how you do anything is how you do everything. So this practice will definitely make a habit for you by default, and thereby that will be a great support to all the ceremonies what you will be handling or organizing as a future Scrum Master. As well as Agilist, you need to practice this. Second one that says that because by default you become student, we don't want you to be student, we want you to be full stack student who does all the assignments, be it said or unsaid. You know it already, what is said assignment, unsaid assignment have been already shared in the previous recordings. Do self research and repeat what they learn. That makes you full stack student. I'm not talking about here full stack developer or something like that. I'm talking about full stack student. Third one, while you do so, it is quite easy to complete what you start and you hit the success, but when you don't, um, it hits failure. This is quite easy to take the credit and responsibility of the success, but when it hits back the failure, it is not so easy. But when you take the ownership of that, there are chances you may go back, correct it, and thereby you will realize that the correction itself was leading back to success. It means the failure was not a failure, that became the trail to the success. And that's the reason we encourage each one of us to take the full responsibility of both the elements. But it is not again easy to take the full responsibility of it. It really requires a concrete mindset for that. And for that very reason, we talk about lead by lead by four different mindset that starts with inspired from Kaizen framework, that is continuous improvement from lean management, that keeps you to adapt learning mindset. More learning minded you become, you will find yourself going more positive minded. More positive minded you will become, you will find yourself going more complaint free, and thereby you will be loaded with more gratitude, because here you strengthen yourself to perform any project even in a stringent timeline and in very even if it is lack of resources, you will have the attitude of making it done. So that keeps you separate always when it comes to inculcating these mindset. And while you do so, remember, it can only be accommodated when you will start your day with the highest level of receptivity towards inculcating this mindset. And for that very highest level of receptivity, I generally encourage to participate in a 30 days challenge. That's an audio program that you are supposed to listen for 30 days without a break. Only the challenge in this 30 days challenge is that even if you break for a day, you need to restart it from the scratch. This is a 40 minutes long audio that you are supposed to listen in any regular rut. You can do that. And while you do so, you can simply plug in, put it in 2x mode. You will be amazed to see that just in 20 minutes, you are done and dusted with this. But your every single activity will get impacted quite positively, and you will be highly productive person for this. And second one, that in this level it says that even if you start any new learning on that day, follow this four quadrant that is called as golden quadrant of learning. That is four-step formula that starts with declaration with the anchor, then take a deep dive into deep learning, then draw whatever you have learned on a piece of paper after 24 hours, and then summarize it in a way that even 5 years old can understand. And that time, when while you are summarizing, remember to just flaunt the notes and say that I'm going to explain it in less than 90 seconds or maximum up to 3 minutes of video. So let's start it here with the declaration with the anchor. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 and clap. You are going to model this self hi-fi, and then I'm going to read what is selected on the screen, and you are going to repeat after me. So can you all see the selected segment on the screen? Just
Yes.
unmute and say
Yes.
yes. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a quick
I'm a
learner.
quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
Other
others
can learn and master.
I too can do that.
I
I
too
can do
can
that.
do that.
One more time with the new segment, new selected statement. 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. Because I'm an awesome learner,
Because
Because
I'm
I'm
an
an
awesome learner.
today's learning is going to be
today's learning
Learning is going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy.
Super duper easy to me.
Yes, it is going to be, because you said so. In case you felt any one of you awkward about it, remember to be the giver, because when it comes to learning, this becomes really crucial. That is keeping ego away on the path of learning. That makes you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. It means that your happiness level increases, to which I am calling it as spiritually grounded. When happiness level increases, remember this happiness is new productivity, and that's the demand of the corporate. And while you are doing so, while you are learning, remember you are not here just for the learning, but also to ramp up your earning. And it is said that what you want more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And in case you are already earning, then you can give away 5% or 10% of your earning. And in case you cannot, then because you are not earning, then at least have an intention to give away. You can give away 5% or 10% of your earning to the causes where whatever you believe in. It could be feeding hungry children, or donating to orphanage or old age home, or giving to donating into any church, temple, gurudwara, or mosque, wherever you believe in. Why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And just don't give away for the sake of. And I'm sure that you are not here just for the survival, but definitely for the growth. But just don't give away for the sake of growth, but also to inspire others in your surrounding. And while you do so, remember to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And even it doesn't seem that something is happening in your favor, continue to do so, because that's the universal law that says that what you appreciate appreciates you back. And how we are going to remain connected, in case you are here for the first time, you can take the screenshot of this. That is Sunday, we are going to meet for technical session at 10 p.m. EST. Monday, again, we will be for new technical session at 10 p.m. EST. Tuesday, you are supposed to attend RRP session that strengthen your visibility, enhances your credibility, and thereby assure your marketability. And Wednesday, you can do it yourself assignment, be it said or unsaid, from the learning of Sunday. Thursday, again, you can attend RRP session. Not you can, you must attend RRP session. The reason behind this, again, repeating it enhances visibility and strengthen credibility and assure the marketability, because you are here to get placed, not just to attend the training. And Friday, you can do the assignment from the learning of Monday. And Saturday, you can choose to relax or do the research on the topic wherever you want to get inside in the depth, or repeat after watching the recording, and prepare any question that you want to ask the answer or get the answer on the next technical session, that is on Sunday. So this is how we are going to remain connected with each other every single day. So are you all understanding this? Are you all good with this? Just say yes if you understood. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you so much. So let's get started directly towards the topic. You remember last time on what note we closed it? Means what we were discussing, and we were done. Who remembers that? Of course, if in case you have watched the recording, you might have.
Scrum event, we last have to discuss Scrum
Yes,
event.
that's brilliant. Yes, yes. So Scrum events, and we will be today talking about more in detail about each and every Scrum events. Okay, so this was the slide. I hope you all can see. Can you all see that? Just confirm me. You can see the slide. Yeah.
Yes.
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 Brilliant. So this was release planning. So before we get into in every single detail of the sprint planning, I just quickly want to ask you, who can tell me what do you mean by sprint?
Time frame.
A sprint is a time duration, allotted
Yes.
time to
Time.
perform the task.
Brilliant. That's right. So you know that. And what do you see here on this something called product backlog? Who can tell me what is product backlog in a nutshell or summary or whatever comes in your mind?
A list of items.
Prioritize the list of items to be
List of items that will be not
Any undone work and even the bottleneck.
prioritize.
Yeah. So
requirement broken in smaller portions.
correct. So I got the answer. So everyone said that this is the list item, but item is what? Requirement broken down. So that is the entire list of the project. Okay. Now it comes to sprint backlog. So product backlog, we are aware. What do we understand by sprint backlog?
Whatever features that came from product backlog for that particular sprint.
Yeah. So not the entire product backlog will be here. A few chosen backlog chosen backlog, highly prioritized chosen backlog from the product backlog in the specific time duration we wish to deliver. That becomes the part of sprint planning. Are we good with this? Any questions so far?
Yes. No.
Okay, no question. Thank you. So now, daily Scrum and sprint planning, we are going to look at it more in details. However, this is 1 to 4 weeks. What do you think what it is?
The
Sprint
duration
duration.
of sprint to 4 weeks
Exactly.
to complete
Time
sprint
duration.
cycle.
Yes. So minimum how much it has to be time duration? 1 week.
1 week to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
And maximum 4
4
weeks.
weeks.
And ideal will be the average of it. That comes to the 2 weeks. Ideal.
Oh.
Okay. And towards the end of the sprint, you will have potential shippable product increment ready. Means same product backlog, sprint backlog, which is the outcome of the sprint, will be called as potentially shippable product increment. Are we good so far? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, so once this shipping is done, where you were working from 1 week to 4 weeks, now arrow says that go back to product backlog and repeat it again. Okay, it means that new highly prioritized item will be picked inside the sprint planning. Good, you understood this diagram so far, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's get inside the learning of each and every ceremonies. Okay, so we'll start from the sprint planning meeting. We will know who all can attend, what is the purpose behind it, tips and tricks. So I want someone to read the purpose of sprint planning, please.
Create the sprint
Create-
backlog and identify the sprint goal that the entire Scrum team is committing to over the course of the sprint.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So what is the purpose? The purpose is that you are going to, pick the prioritized item as a part of sprint backlog, and that will become the outcome. That will become the sprint goal. That will be called a sprint goal. And while it is happening, remember in this sprint planning meeting, what happens? The entire team is going to commit. Okay, for the defined duration, they will be working over it. Okay, we will be getting into more details of it. However, in a nutshell, as a part of summary, we are understanding the purpose. Let's understand who can attend. The entire Scrum team. Means last time we saw that it was inside Scrum team, who all are there?
Product owner, Scrum Master, and the whole
Developers,
development team.
QA,
Master.
architect,
Yeah,
code.
exactly. Scrum Master, Product Owner, QA, Architect,
QA,
BA, everyone.
architect, BA.
Dev team. Yeah. So entire Scrum team will have to attend the sprint planning. That is mandatory. I want 3 different people to read 3 different tips and tricks. That is on the rightmost column. Please go ahead.
Encourage the team to discuss and negotiate each item related to the sprint goal. Sketching can be helpful.
Yeah. Next. New one.
Ensure the
Ensure-
product backlog has been ordered and completed by the product owner before sprint planning begins.
Yes.
Once
Nikhil.
the sprint goal is set, it can be broken by the product owner but should remain relevant throughout the course of the sprint.
Yeah. Thank you so much for reading this out. So one thing is very much clear to you all, and that is it is the product owner just before the sprint planning begins. What he has to do that he will reorder the entire backlog item that you saw as a product backlog before sprint planning will begin. And while it is happening, once it is reorder and prioritize, and few of highest priority item will become the discussion of the sprint planning meeting. That has to be relevant, which you are going to uh, entire team is going to work upon, and that will be broken down by product owner himself or herself, so that the entire team can work. But remember, in this planning meeting, what happens? The team will discuss that, and team will discuss the entire item which has been the part of not which has been the part of only sprint planning. It means all those chosen prioritized item which are now entering into the sprint planning meeting, and here negotiation will happen as well. So negotiation, what do you think will happen? Because the entire team will be there. What do you think? It says that team to discuss and negotiate each item. So team will discuss who is working on what. Okay. So there are multiple team members. So everyone will be assigned with the work. But negotiation will happen for what? What do you think? Any idea?
I mean, like a time frame, like
Hmm.
or
Yeah,
Requirement,
exactly.
requirement.
So requirement on requirement, there won't be any negotiation, because requirement will any way is going to get clear. Okay, when it comes to negotiation, it will always happen towards the timeline. If some dev says that I can work one item within 6 hours, someone says no, 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 it is big and it would require 1.5 day, then negotiation will be towards that direction. Okay. However, the items are very much clear on which we are going to work. So we'll be talking about it more in detail, how we are going to achieve it. Okay, cool. So far you understood what happens in sprint planning meeting. Yes or yes? You all agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's move further towards the few more ceremonies to understand. So first happens sprint planning, and then happens this daily scrum, because now the work has started. You have identified what to work upon and who is working upon what. Now understand during the process what exactly happens. So I want someone to read the purpose part of the daily scrum or daily stand-up.
Provide the Scrum team an opportunity to discuss progress, announce a daily commitment, and daily identify and implement, which should be clear by the Scrum Master.
Okay, so this is impediments. Impediments means anything which is the bottleneck. Impediments which is hindering the progress of the project or the sprint. Impediments means something which brings the which interferes the entire sprint. So it says that provide the Scrum team opportunity to discuss progress. Okay, so here what exactly happened in this meeting? Remember, this is the progress call as well. Means when you are talking, you will be talking only three things. We will be unveiling what exactly these three things we are going to talk. But yeah, it's always towards the progress, how the project or your task is progressing or not. If not progressing, what is causing the stop, or what is causing its non-movement, what is causing it to get frozen, that you have to declare, so that Scrum Master can take the responsibility of overcome of those bottleneck which is not allowing you to move ahead. Okay, who will attend this daily Scrum except product owner and outside stakeholders? Entire Scrum team are going to attend it. Is it clear? Who cannot attend? Means this is the optional for them. They
Product
can,
owner.
Product owner and stakeholders.
yeah. So this is optional for them. They choose to not to attend, but rest of all of them has to attend it. So I want again 4 different people, and those who have not yet read it. So please read this 4 different items inside the tips and tricks column for daily Scrum. Please proceed.
Be sure the team can see each other. If you are remote, use a video conferencing tool.
Yeah. Second.
Don't
Don't-
let the meeting turn into a verbal status report.
Exactly. And third.
Encourage team members to get together after the daily Scrum to discuss any items that require additional conversation.
Yeah. And the last one.
Do not let this meeting go longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out, everyone. So yes, understand, if you are becoming already a Scrum Master, this will be my personal advice to all of you. Set a target to finish this daily stand-up meeting or daily Scrum meeting up to 10 minutes. Up to how long, everyone?
10 minutes.
Less than
10
15 minutes.
Yeah. So when you will set a target of less than 15 minutes, or I will say 10 minutes, anyway, even if it gets extended, it won't get extended more than 15 minutes. Okay. So have a target of 10 minutes so that maximum it can get stretched up to 15 minutes. So if it gets over before 10 minutes, you are cool with that. Okay. So that you need to take care of. That's number one. Number two, it has to be more towards face-to-face meeting, and that's the reason before COVID it was always encouraged that you should be on the same floor where the daily stand-up happens. Okay, but this COVID sets everyone towards working from home, and there it was not quite physically possible to appear in the same meeting because it was daily for 10 minutes at the same location and same team members are meeting. So it was said that even if you are attending remote, remember to switch on your camera and be visible. So there is no point you can't say that I can't face camera. Okay, tomorrow if you are becoming a BA, you have to face customer, and that's when from there the unsaid assignment comes, because we are preparing you for the remote job. If we are preparing you for the remote job, you need to start facing the camera. You can't survive without camera if you are working from home and you don't work. Many places what happens, sprint team works together, they switch on their camera, okay, and they continue to work so that you are visible that you are working. That's number one. Number two is that it's quite optional that in between sometime you can switch it off, okay, because you should be visible. So that you can take care of and start practicing to coming over the camera again and again, because you have to show your face every single day. And when you are showcasing your face, you're talking about the task on which you are working, you have to simply take care of your own work, what you have done, what you are going to do, and what is stopping you from doing that. Only these 3 things you are going to talk. So if you are going to going to talk about that, you don't have to convert that into the status report. Otherwise, the time will be stretched and no one would be interested in the detail of it. Okay, so because everyone has to go back to work and they have to finish the task over on the time. So that's the reason for you as a future Scrum Master, you have to take care that only these three things has to be spoken. And what other thing says?
Gaurav sir,
Yes.
if I'm not wrong, you are talking about the last 8 hours, current 8 hours, and the bottleneck.
Yes, exactly, Rahul. You are right. So we will be again talking about it very, very soon. But however, yeah, get together after the daily Scrum to discuss any item. Okay, so Scrum Master, the moment you hear about the bottleneck, okay, someone said that, hey, I'm not able to work on this because the requirement was not clear. Pick business analyst or pick this team member, and after the Scrum meeting is daily Scrum is getting over, make sure these two parties are meeting, because one is not clear of the requirement, he doesn't have the clarity of the requirement, is expected from the business analyst to be top of the requirement, and so that this person, business analyst, can educate to this person who has less clarity, that could be the coder or developer, and make other people, like, because requirement is re-explained, it will be again beneficial for the tester as well as the architect. You can tell them it is optional, you can go ahead and you can attend the meeting that business analyst is running with the dev, and that when you are going to say that, you are going to say after the meeting is over. So I think we have covered everything as a part of tips and tricks. So I think we all are very much clear with this ceremony, that is daily sync up call. So this is the new name, daily sync up call, because you meet for the syncing up what is happening inside. Okay. Let's talk about the sprint review. When you continue to meet daily, one fine day, all the tasks will get over, right? Agree with this in the sprint? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Obviously, yes. Then what will happen when this call are done, means your one portion of the work is ready that requires to be reviewed. Okay, so who will review, who has to be invited, that we are going to look at it in the purpose as well as in tips and tricks. I want someone to read the purpose of the second row.
Showcase the work completed over the course of the sprint, gather feedback from stakeholders to inspect and adapt the product.
Yeah, thank you so much. So here you need to remember I and A, okay? That is inspect and adapt, okay? So whether you have a small team, big team, so because we are talking about the team, tell me how many team members should be there in one Scrum team? That is a question you must, that is the answer you must know. What do you think? How many? So think about that. One Scrum Master has to be there, right?
Yeah, one developer,
BA.
Okay.
one BA, one tester, QA.
Mm-hmm.
Developers can be many, right? Many developers can be there.
And
Okay.
the Scrum Master.
Mm-hmm.
Not more than 9 people.
Exactly. That's right, Aditi. So even if you will continue to count, you cannot accommodate more than 9 people. So when it comes to maximum, it should be 9, and minimum, it should be 3. So it had been trained only for the small Scrum team. It has to be 3 to 9. But now, recently, as per the Scrum Book, like Scrum Book is the Scrum body of knowledge. Okay. So they have the guide, and the new guide they have updated uh, from 3 to 9 to 9 to 11. Okay. So they have shifted, but anywhere you can give this. So when you started, so if someone asks you in the interview how many Scrum team members should be, so you can say the ideally I have studied 3 to 9, but recently I came across that the strength of the team member has been enhanced up to 9 to 11. Is it clear? Your answer should be ideally it should be 3 to 9, but recently it has been enhanced up to 9 to 11. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So be with that
Yes.
answer, and so that you can uh, must tell this to everyone, or when you are being interviewed. Generally, it should not come, but in case at all, or depending upon how you are performing in the interview, this question may come. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. What is the minimum number as per the new guidelines in Scrum.org?
So in minimum number has not been declared, but maximum has been marked up to 9 to 11. However, minimum you are going to tell only 3. Okay. So from 3 to 9, the strength of the team member, Scrum team has to be 3 to 9. However, recently it has been made up to 9 to 11. Okay. That I recently came across, that you are going to tell. That recently I got to know. Because when you will be showcasing your when you will be attending the interview, that what I have observed, that whoever is going from the guru schools, you are already rewarded with some existing experience of up to 7 years. Okay. Already you are given by guru school quote you as and make sure that under 3 to 4 project they showcase through your profile, and they make sure that when your profile they are marketing, they are going to market up to of 7 years. So so that when you are going here from these training, you have to earn at least up to that level of experience. Okay. How it is going to happen? When we will literally join in a project, there we are going to witness it. Okay. However, with the training, you are going to means learn in that way. So that we are making sure. Okay. So who all are going to attend that? In fact, everyone, including customer and stakeholder, will participate in this sprint review meeting. Because what you do, you are going to showcase what you have worked upon. All right. So then to whom you are going to showcase? Of course, not to the internal team, because internal team is already and every day they are aware what is going on and what you are working. Then when it comes to showcase, and on that you have to receive the feedback, who other than customer is the best one, who can give you the best feedback, telling you whether you worked the way we wanted you to this software to be, or it is not up to the mark. So whatever the feedback would be, that will be given by this the customer and the stakeholder. Is it clear to everyone? So when we are talking about the stakeholder, the extended customer, that can be the sponsor, they may also join you. Okay, with me so far, everyone? Yeah.
Yes.
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 So
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
now 3 different people to read 3 different pointers over here in tips and tricks column, please. New people.
Sure.
And
Ensure that, can I go?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Ensure that, okay. Ensure that any outside stakeholder know where they need to be when. Get the room prepped. The second one is the production team
No,
should not
so
feel like.
Shilpa, one person, one this bullet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
new
Thank you.
person. Yeah, you're welcome. So new person, please, second, and then new person, third.
The production team should not feel like they are defending their work. Prep to ensure they are able to shine.
Yeah. And third one.
Capture actionable feedback as items in the backlog.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for reading this out. So remember, when sprint review is happening, you are showcasing the work. Of course, customer is going to tell you, hey, we didn't want this to happen. We want this in this way. So what is going to happen? Scrum Master, please take a note of it. Whenever customer is pinning you, that they are telling you, this is not, this is what, this was expected, this was not expected, you are taking a note of it, and it has to be actionable item. Although those who have developed, they have not developed the way it has to be, they will anyway take a note of it. Okay. But it is your responsibility that those notes, even if it is missed by these people, you are going to provide towards the end of the meeting for sure. So that is number one. Number two, who will prep it? Prep means that every single person is getting inside the meeting room the proper sketches, markers, sticky notes, mics, conference room. Everything is clear. Everything is available. It has to be comfortable. People, they are there inside the room, okay, on the time, because customer is going to come. Whose responsibility is there that every single person show up on the time? It's you who are going to send them reminders so that they are not going to miss it. They show up well in time, well before time, and this meeting starts on time and this meeting finishes on time. Okay, so there are chances in case someone from your team member gets deviated from the topic, you politely bring them back towards the topic, towards the discussion, and let it finish well before time as well, or up to the decided time. Uh, so ensure that any outside stakeholder know where they need to be when. Yeah. So other than customer, there could be possibilities. Some vendors are involved and they will also required to know the feedback of the customer on which everyone has worked, and how they will get to know only when they are the part of this meeting. So you are making sure that they are also getting informed and they are joining in this team meeting, so that you need to take care of. So as a scrum master, you are taking a note of it. And yeah, so this sprint review meeting is quite interesting, because here just not the feedback from the customer. What will happen when customer will realize, hey, you have put out really lot of effort, and this is the and they appreciate that, then this is the time for celebration. So you move ahead, get up from your desk, give each other high five, appreciate them, and tell that yes, you have done a great job and all. So that happens inside sprint review. Every time, every meeting has to be celebration, and then you will feel yourself really part of this sprint meeting. And any sprint meeting, any sprint ceremony, that makes you highly motivated team members. So this is how we work in the scrum ceremonies. Okay, now let's move to what happens when customer is happy, you have showcased. Now it's time to deliver what you have developed, right? So delivery is happening. This is not the ceremony, although, but we sometimes keep it. So I'll show you that when we keep it in the part of ceremony, what happens. And but after delivery is done, delivery is completed, there is one more ceremony before you enter into the new sprint planning meeting, because things will be repeated. You saw that in this drawing, that once sprint review is done, it has to be delivered, and after that you are going towards the restarting the sprint planning meeting. But before that, one more ceremony is left. It happens after the delivery is done, but before new sprint planning is starting. That is called as this sprint retrospective meeting. So I want someone to read purpose and attendee. One person, please read the purpose and attendees column.
Hey
Allow the
Gaurav, let
team
me
to
know when you
inspect.
want to take a water break. Yeah,
Sure,
sorry.
Prerna. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Allow the team to inspect itself and plan for improvements in the next sprint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please read all, as well attendees.
Scrum Master and the production team, product owner is optional but recommended.
Yeah. So purpose, that team need to spec, okay, and plan for improvement in the next sprint. So what went well, what not went well, okay, what did not go well, and what went well, and why it went well, and why it did not go well. Every single thing you are going to take a note of it during the retrospect. Do you know retrospective? This itself is a combination of two words. And what do you look at it? What are these two words? Who can tell me? There are two words in retrospective.
Retro and
Okay.
one is prospective.
Yeah. So one is retro for sure, and another is inspection. Retro and inspection. Spect, not inspect, spect. Spect means watch. Spect means looking at it. Okay. But looking at what? Retro. Retro means past. Agree? So when you are revisiting past, that becomes retrospective. So that's the reason it is combination of two words. So so somehow I think, Sushma, you are not contributing. You can go on mute. So yeah. So is it clear? Retrospective are two words, retro and spect. So it becomes a retrospect, and here you are talking about what went well, what did not go well, and you are taking a note of it, and you are creating action item out of it. Who can attend it? Everyone has to attend it. Only product owner is compromised. He can be or he cannot showcase. Okay, that is it clear that those are the attendees? Now, when it comes to tips and tricks, I want three different people to read this uh, column. So one by one, please.
Don't allow people. Oh, sorry.
Don't allow people to point fingers and play the blames game. Create a safe space for people to provide the honest feedback.
The second one.
Use games and different questions to mix things up and reduce monotony.
Yes.
Make sure any actionable suggestions is captured, assigned, and tracked.
Yeah. So one thing is for sure, when this meeting is happening, when you are going back with the what next we are going to do as a part of action item, you can take a note of it and you can incorporate it in the next upcoming meeting, so that it will prevent any error or potential error to get repeated. That's number one. Number two, make this meeting as a future Scrum Master more entertaining, more interesting, to include some games into it. Okay, and different type of question to introspect, and that will reduce continuously monotony. So in case in the game winning, the feeling of winning comes up, give each other high five. That brings the bonding together. You are charged up to work again in the same team, and the next time, what is going to happen, make sure when you are meeting, in this meeting itself, you are not going to blame on a person, because it was a team who delivered something. It was team who failed on something. So it's not, even if you know that this could be because of some individual, please don't name them, please don't blame them, ignore it, but make sure everyone is learning out of it, and then only it can be the healthy game or healthy meeting, and it can create the healthy environment, and there people want to be over here. So that's the reason. It is quite natural when you are connecting over the internet. Sometime you can go on unmute, remain unmute, and you are finding yourself, you are contributing back into the home, because it is quite natural, right? You are connecting through over the remote, means through internet. So that is when I tell simply that if you want to contribute into the class, remain unmuted. But if you cannot contribute into the class, if you are contributing somewhere else, go on mute. I'm not asking you, hey, why did you do that? So when I'll say, why did you do that, that is not really safe, because I'm looks like I'm pinpointing you. No. So it is quite natural. That's the reason I am just bringing your focus back to the class. I'll be simply requesting you, hey, please contribute into the class by remaining unmuted. But if you want to contribute elsewhere, go on mute. A simple thing. Now I was talking about the one more ceremony just before starting this. You are sending everything is done. This meeting will start when everything is done. Okay, sprint retrospective will start when you will mark everything done, and that's when this line come, and I want someone to read this gray box.
Fifth is not mentioned everywhere. Done, sprint, or cancel. Done goes in the sprint. Done chart to release the product. Increment from product backlog list.
Yeah, thank you so much. So this is something that you will move when you are ready, and know that, yeah, things are completed, things will go and move towards the completion. So every single product backlog item will follow. You remember the Kanban board? We put it from to do to in progress to test and towards the done. So your job to one fine day you are sitting, whatever has been discussed in front of customer, we have delivered that. You will just pull it, if it is in testing, to completed, and your chart will look like everything has marked as a completed. So this is also taken as a part of ceremony that you can remember, not everywhere, as it says, not everywhere. So this completes the entire ceremony. Now this is the time to look at each and every single ceremony more in detail. So I want to invite Prerna to take this, and you can just start from here, Prerna, if you're there. Yeah,
Before Gaurav, so sorry to interrupt.
no problem.
Yeah, I have a question. Is just that, what's exactly? It might sound silly, but what's exactly the difference between sprint review and retrospective? I mean, review and retrospective are not exactly the same words, but it's like one is the review meeting, another is the retrospective. Is retrospective a more detailed or more into focused into the process or something like that, or I missed something?
Okay, so what happens? That's a good question, Pooja. It's not silly for sure. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for asking. So see, the review meeting where customer is involved. Okay, so customer is involved, entire team member is involved. Why? Because you are demonstrating something in front of customer, and customer feedback is crucial. Customer feedback is deciding over here what really you did well. Okay, and it is black and white in front of everyone. Now, so take review meeting, sprint review meeting as a demonstration. But when it comes to retrospective, what exactly happens? Now you are contemplating back. Even you are considering the review meeting, something might have happened that got released in front of, that became visible in front of a customer. So here you can decide your do's and don'ts. You in the retrospective meeting, you can decide or pre-plan what to avoid and what to and where to be more proactive. You are planning, looking looking like so one in a one of the training, and that you can adopt it. So it was a spiritual retreat, and there I got to learn something very beautiful that I'm going to share over here. So they say that when you want to look at the past, go quickly there, like a Superman, and come back. Okay, go there by like a Superman, because you will take a learning from there. You don't have to be there, keep on cribbing, and that went bad, or keeping on repenting that I should have done like that. So no, be the Superman, learn over there in the past, and come back into the present. And now based on that, be the Spider-Man and go to the future, project and plan accordingly. So this is what exactly in a sprint retrospective happens. You showcase your superpower by calling or recalling all the memory that what you could have done differently. It's more of internal meeting where we don't need customers. We don't need
Okay.
outer customer or stakeholder or something. This is a very close family meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is how it
Yeah.
is. I hope
Got
I
it.
answered. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
I have another question before you go. Sorry.
Yeah, Tatasya.
So the last under the tips and tricks, it says make sure any actionable suggestion is captured, assigned, and tracked. Do those actionable items also go back to the product backlog to be worked on, like we do with the sprint review actionable items?
Yes, that's a brilliant question, Tatasya. So what may happen, the moment we are tracking this as an actionable item, if something emerge as a part of process, okay, we should incorporating this as a part of process. And if that process becomes the task, and in every sprint we have to do that, so that will get listed inside this every sprint backlog meeting as sprint 1 process to be done, sprint 2 process to be done. Means this becomes the part of process that will get repeated in every single sprint. Only the thing is that for every sprint to that process, you have named them and tried including them. They become the part of each and every sprint. You got it, Tatasya?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So that's a very great question, and a future Scrum Master, future a product owner, you can definitely talk about it. Okay, so is it clear to everyone? Can we proceed further? Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
You're welcome. So I want someone to, yeah. So Prerna, over to you. You can just continue. Thank you so much for. I'm taking.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gaurav.
Break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
So, Gaurav has given a very deep and detailed understanding of all the ceremonies. And guys, try to understand in Scrum, ceremonies are extremely important to know, to understand, and even to conduct. So, all of you would be future Scrum Masters, product owners, or BAs, So, I'll request you to rewatch this video once it's uploaded and just, try to understand the ceremonies a lot more better. So, moving on to Scrum planning. Here you can see there are such a cute pictures of all these working men and all the goal and everything. Why we have added a picture here is always try to remember there is a purpose behind every action, especially for this PPT, because pictures hold greater memory than the normal text. Okay, so I'll recommend whenever you feel that something is important, you can take a picture, though it looks very simple or maybe little funnier, but then it has a greater meaning. So here if you see, there are three parts to this product planning, Scrum planning meeting. So starting with input, then sprint planning, and then the output. Okay, can everybody see this? Input, planning, Scrum planning, and output.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So can three different people read out what are the three points mentioned in the inputs?
Product backlog,
Thank you. Next.
Latest increment.
Okay, thank you.
Velocity, capacity of development team.
Yeah, perfect. So to start with product backlog, we all know that product owner manages, controls, and maintains a product catalog. So it's like a it's like a summary, or it's like a consolidated work item list. From that, we keep taking we keep work taking things, and we keep working on it. So somebody is not on mute. If you're not speaking, I'll just request you to go on mute, please. Yeah, because the disturbance keeps coming. Yeah. So product backlog is like your whole and soul work item list. From that, you keep taking work items which are particular to that Scrum. So that for example, if you're working in current Scrum period, then you can take out the items which customer has asked you, and that would come from product backlog. This is simple, right? Latest increment means what is the additional that has been come to the work items. Like for example, I always prefer to give easier example. So imagine if you were working on a website of like a shopping website like Amazon, okay, just a look-alike or similar website to Amazon. And earlier, the customer had said that, okay, we can go with kids apparel, development for this Scrum period. Okay, so you were starting with okay, kids clothing, kids, everything, starting with boys and girls clothing, everything. And then somehow in between, the customer comes and tells, hey, we would also like to add kids toys. Okay, add kids toys to this section in this Scrum. So right now, for the sake of discussion, we are keeping the parameters of time and resources aside. So just focusing on what is the latest increment. So right now, earlier, what was your goal? Your goal was kids apparel, kids clothing, but now the customer has given the priority along with that to kids toys. So as a team, along after discussing internally the feasibility, that can we do that? How is the strength of the team, and how is the timeline? Everything, you start working on that. So latest increment means, as everybody knows, increment that means addition. So whatever comes in addition to this sprint, say it can be something else also. Customer can ask something else. They might ask and say, okay, can you please change the color theme of the website? Okay, can you change the login page of the website? It can be anything. I have just given you an easier example so you can visualize. Okay, it's easier to retain in your memory. The last and very important part is capacity and velocity of the development team. Gaurav has made a very interesting and easy to understand video on this. So Gaurav, I'll request you after our this session, if you could share that link of that YouTube video on our group, because that in that video, Gaurav has explained in detail that how the current capacity means velocity, and capacity means how well your team can deliver, how well they are in a position to work on something. Okay, that given a amount of work, how well your team can deliver that, how well your team can complete that, how skilled they are, what are the timelines you're looking at. So everything is very beautifully explained. So right now I'll just leave you to it. Please watch that video, will share, and you'll understand that how that is important. Having a team who's skilled, who is with you, and knowing their capacity and velocity, knowing them how much they can deliver as a team, as an individual, is very important in Scrum, and that is what is explained in further. So I'll request you to watch that video later. Right now we can continue to the next part. Second section is sprint planning. So guys, this is the inputs. Inputs mean these are the things that will be coming into the sprint. Those are like work items, product backlog, additional work, and then your team's capacity and velocity. Okay. So now we have all these inputs. What are we supposed to do? So we are supposed to do the sprint planning part. Okay. So can someone read out these two lines? They're very simple.
What will we do? How will we do it?
Yes. So it's simple, right? So we have all these inputs, and now as a team, we have to ask this question: what we will do and how we will do it. Like, we have this product backlog, we have product increment, we have the team's capacity, and I'm sorry. So with all these inputs, the first question is what we will do and how we will do. Like, the planning, what we just discussed some time back, is like, okay, we have this amount of work, we have this deadline, we have these requirements. Then the sprint planning is focused on, okay, who will do what, how it will be completed. Okay, the simpler task or the easier task will be given to the junior employees or junior team members. The complicated one would need discussion. So also, the senior people would pitch in, and they'll have a brainstorming session about how it can be developed. So it's simply that we know what we have to work on, and then how we will implement it. Okay? We have kind of gone through this in the earlier ceremony. It's just the basic understanding of this team. Can you see the team with different icons? Someone is with a pencil, someone with this is with a book, someone is with some other some chart. So it's simply that they will jot down, they will prepare a plan, or they will ensure how they are going to perform and deliver whatever they need to deliver in this sprint. Okay. The last point is output. I'll read out. It's very simple. So we know what is coming in. We know what are the inputs for the Scrum. We know the team that they have to plan, and the how they will plan. Okay, they'll have a sprint period. They'll have I would say, allocation of the task. They'll know what is the priority of the work. They know whom to approach in case they get stuck. They'll have their daily Scrum stand-up meetings. They'll have their daily whatever discussions or brainstorming depending on the work. And then the final output is sprint goal. Okay, sprint goal and sprint backlog. So, anybody has an idea of what is a sprint goal? Yes? Can someone like to answer this? What is a sprint goal, guys?
Deliver in the time.
In the time frame.
Okay, sprint goal. Yeah. Somebody else, please.
The
Thanks for
task which
sharing.
has been assigned should be delivered on time.
Sprint goal should be the increment. The definition of done should be done.
Okay. Yeah, someone has been reading. Thank you. Thank you for the answer. Yes. So, in short, all of you are right. So, sprint goal basically simply means that whatever you as a team had promised or had committed to deliver in this sprint, okay, that goal would be a certain amount of development, certain amount of designing, certain amount of functionality to be developed. All that together is mentioned as I'm sorry, that all the tasks that is mentioned as a sprint goal. Okay, so basically whatever you wanted to deliver to the customer in that particular sprint, in that uh, after completing of that sprint, it's called as a sprint goal. Okay, next point is sprint backlog. Now the sprint backlog is as simple as product backlog. One second. Yeah, sorry. So the sprint backlog means whatever items, work items are pending from that sprint. See, earlier when I was talking to you about latest increment, what I said, that customer comes up to us and says, "Hey, I want to have the kids' toy section, developed along with the apparels and something like that." But then imagine if we are giving something additional and we have to develop in the same time frame, it will be really difficult for us to complete everything, right? So we as a team always need to check with the customer. Okay, we are fine with the additional work. Is there anything that can be deprioritized? See, for example, very, very, very simple example I like to give, and which is a very practical one. Imagine during our school days, we used to get those exam schedule coming up and all, right? So, for the exam, say there are 10 days left, and you are still about to finish a lot of subjects. So, on the practical grounds, you always used to be like, okay, out of these 10 chapters, 8 are very important. Two are, from these two chapters, hardly any question comes. So, can I keep it as an option? Maybe most of you did not do that in school. I never did that in school, but in colleges, most of the topic was always an option. So, that something we used to keep aside, that it is not important, it is deprioritized, or it can be done later. So, same way, that something, those work item is called as sprint backlog. Okay. Everybody's okay with this. Any doubts in this chart or in this explanation? If no, then we can go ahead. Yes, guys.
Yeah.
I have a
Thank you
question,
so.
Prerna.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, after this meeting, do we need to go back and inform the customer about this meeting, or like?
See, basically, this meeting is an internal part, okay? So it's like we have got the requirements, we have got everything, and this is a ceremony that is conducted internally within our
Okay.
team. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can verbally can communicate, but this is quite internal to us. So
Okay.
it's not that the minutes of the meeting will go to the customer. We can always say that, okay, we had an internal discussion and we're kicking off with the development. Okay, so
Okay,
that can
okay.
be a simpler note, but this
Okay.
is more like your family meeting about how to conduct the work, and then yeah, a simple one-liner or a little update would be fine. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Gaurav. Yeah, next slide, please. Yes. So now this is again a diagram. See, guys, always remember diagrams are for your or for everyone's memory enhancement purpose, because theory is fine, you understand, but to keep or retain the concepts and the understanding in your memory, we have this diagram on purpose added in the slides. So here you see it's very simple. I'll only read it out and explain. On the left hand side, we have all the major boxes mentioned as product backlog. There are kind of 9 boxes for for the discussion. See, so it's like the entire work items for you, for us to have for this project. So it's like the complete list of work items. Now from that 9 product backlog items, we kind of say take 6, like some of them, to the sprint backlog. So it's like from the entire list we take out some of the work items for this particular sprint, and see like selected stories and their tasks of you take out some of the work items, some of the stories, and some part of the work, and then you come to the sprint. So how you come to the sprint? Just now we discussed it starts with planning, then the implementation. Implementation means actual development of the work. Planning we just discussed. Then the implementation comes. Implementation, then it's the review and retrospect that Gaurav has recently explained. And implementation, we do have daily meetings. Okay. And once that planning is completed, we go towards the completed product. So see, it looks so simple and it's really easier to understand with the diagram. And when we have the check, that means we have completed the task. So from the entire work item list, we have sprint backlog, that is the sum of the work items for that particular list. Then you plan the particular sprint, then you implement. Implement means what we have to work on, how the development goes, how well the features are building, when will we delivering, and then we have the review meeting with the customer, and we showcase our work, how well we have done, what we could achieve well, and what are the highlights of our development and achievement. And then we have a retrospective meeting where we learn that okay, what we could have done better, where we achieved success, and what was the learning, what could have been done, what we can improve further. So everything happens and everything is discussed, and then ultimately and then the daily scrum is also very important. It's mentioned in the implementation, and then ultimately we deliver all the completed products or completed work items. Okay, so the finished product after the sprint is delivered to the customer. So guys, do you think this is an easy diagram, or it is easy to understand from this diagram, instead of having only theory in the PPT? What do you feel? Let me know. Yeah,
This is
one
better.
glance.
Yes.
It's better in one glance. You understand this is easy. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes.
A small little confusion. So
Yeah.
the slide you have been showing sprint backlog or the Scrum something backlog thing, or is that the same sprint backlog you showed and you were explaining?
See, okay, fine. This is a common confusion. See, it's like I'll give you one example. While we were studying in school or colleges, imagine your entire year's syllabus as product backlog.
Yeah.
Entire year, yeah, and then each sem
Yeah, I
is
got the
your
concept. I got the concept.
uh-huh.
Like previously, in the previous slide, you like sprint backlog. Usually, the task or the stories that the development team has chosen for that sprint to complete, right?
Right,
So
right.
yeah, that I understood. The previous slide you were telling something about the whatever the customer client in between the scrum,
That
I mean
was
in
that
between the
was
sprint.
that was sprint increment. See, increment word
Increment. Okay,
itself
okay,
tells
okay, okay.
that
Yeah, yeah.
when something
Okay.
is additional, see, first of all, sprint, why we are following Scrum? Because today's market, today's industry is very dynamic. Okay, there we expect there will be changes, there will be some amount of up and down in the requirement, frequent changes from the customer. So we keep that gate open, we keep that option open. That's why we have that sprint increment. Okay.
Yeah, I missed that
Is your
word, so I got confused. Sprint,
okay, okay.
sprint.
So
Thank you.
is your confusion clear now?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome and thanks for asking the question. Yeah, Gaurav, we can go to next slide, please. Okay. So I'll just request 4 different people to read out the points, please.
What is sprint in Scrum? Time box iteration of a development cycle.
Broken project into small and consistent time interval.
As
Mm-hmm.
short as few days and as long as 4 weeks.
Next.
Can call all sprint goals or project in itself due to start and finish record it gives.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for reading it out. So first of all, the first item says it's a time box iteration. That means it's a smaller duration of the entire development cycle. Okay. Gaurav, can you please take this? I need to attend to something urgent. Gaurav, are you there? Yeah. Gaurav, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Gaurav, are
please.
you on
Yeah,
mute?
sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was not
Please,
on
please.
mute.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Please.
Yeah, everyone. So yes, you understood so far. I have been talking about total sprint duration. Sprint is the time duration, and because it has a specified time. Just in previous slide, we spoke that it has to be between 1 to 4 weeks. That's the specified time duration. And because it is specified time duration, this terminology is also called as time boxing. What it is called as, everyone?
Time boxing.
Yeah.
Time boxing.
Yes. So you can remember this terminology that in the every sprint, it has to be time boxed. And this time boxing is defining the interval, means what interval the continued delivery is going to happen. You remember I have also talked that uh, in this sprint duration, what you are delivering. So what you are delivering toward the end of the sprint will be always called as sprint goal, because outcome is always decided. Okay, so because its start date is finalized, finished line is finalized, that's the reason it is called as iteration. Sometime it is called as what you call iteration or time interval. So I think people who are contributing into the session, you can remain unmuted. Rest all can go on mute. So any question around this slide, because I don't think this slide is really requiring explanation to be done. So let me know. Any question around this? If
No,
not,
Gaurav.
I'm going to flip the slide then. Okay.
Yes.
So give me a moment to flip the slide. Okay, so what has been done so that, so yeah, I'm not going to cover, but definitely I'm going to cover something. Okay. So I want someone to read the first paragraph of this definition of sprint planning. Anyone?
Sprint
Sprint
planning.
plan.
is an event in the Scrum framework where the team determines the product backlog items they will work on during that sprint and discusses their initial plan for completing those product backlog items.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. I want someone else to read the second and then third, and then I'll explain it after the slide will be read. So I want someone to read the second one.
Teams may find it helpful to establish a sprint goal and use that as the basis by which they determine which product backlog items they work on during that sprint.
Okay, a new member with the third one, please.
The purpose of sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that work will be achieved. Sprint planning is done in collaboration with the whole Scrum team. The what? The product owner describes the objective or goal of the sprint and what backlog items contribute to that goal.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So what exactly happened in sprint planning meeting? Everyone meets. But do you know that who organizes this meeting?
Product owner.
Okay. Any other answer?
And all the roles participate in the sprint planning.
Yeah, that is
Like
right. But
product
who
owner,
organizes?
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master.
Yeah, Scrum Master, who is the responsible to organize this meeting. Any meeting in the Scrum will be organized by whom?
Scrum
The
Master.
Scrum
Scrum
Master.
Master. Yeah. So he is the one who will chair means he will organize entire meeting. He will make sure these ceremonies are happening. Okay. So that you need to remember. So this could be the another question in the interview, who organizes. That's the reason I asked. So in this framework, what is happening? The product backlog is the big list, and I believe that if you have gone through my recording, in that I have covered the example of bread loaf. Do you all remember that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much. So if you remember that, now the slices are prioritized and are taken in the into the consideration for that particular time frame. Okay, that what is the highest priority item. So when you are bringing those lists into the sprint planning discussion, it means that those are the goal to be achieved. With me so far?
Yes.
Yes. And if those are the goal to be achieved, those are called as sprint goal as well. Is it clear to you as well? Sprint goal
Yes.
is the prioritized item which has started being discussed in the sprint planning meetings. Okay. People will know that what they are exactly going to work upon. So that will become the part of sprint planning. But also every single person has to be self-motivated and really highly motivated to pick one item. They are courageous enough and they'll say, hey, I'm going to work on this item. I'm going to work on this item. So everyone will say that. So no one is going to assign a work to anyone. So be very much clear. In this process, it is not going to happen that I, as a product manager, am going to assign activities to someone. In fact, it is expected from you that you will pick an item and tell that, hey, I can contribute to that. Okay. And that's when it is also called as self-organized team. Are you understanding this concept? Self-organized
Yes.
team are so much highly motivated that they don't need to get assigned with the work, but they themselves pick this up and they will say that they can complete on time. But here one thing also happens on those items, we do the planning, means how long it is going to take. So there are various tricks, tips, and techniques are there, methods are there, on which they plan what they plan. They plan the schedule, how long it is going to take for one individual. And what do you think? If there are two developers, will they give you the exact time and what they are going to complete any task that they are going to take?
No.
No, of course there will be variation.
Tentative.
So not necessary both the developers, when they are quoting their effort, that will match even though it is tentative. So
Yes.
someone say, hey, I'll take 10 hours to complete this. Someone may say 12 hours. Someone may say 14 hours. If there are three coders. If it is into testing, someone may say, I'll take 14 hours. Someone may say 16 hours. Someone may say, no, I'll take 8 hours. If two business analysts are there, one may say that I'll take 6 hours to analysis and design of this particular backlog. Someone may say, no, I would require not this much, but at least 5 hours. So if such varied timeline everyone is quoting, what should have happened? On which time frame we should agree upon then?
Averaging it out.
Brilliant answer, Rahul. So yes, averaging them all and defining and finalizing, okay, this is going to happen like this. So this is what exactly happened in the sprint goal. To establish sprint goal, what the basis of which determine product backlog on during. So this is what I have explained. Now let me move who is involved in sprint planning to know about it. Okay, I want someone, 4 different people read 4 these bullet points so that quickly I can go and explain it. Go ahead, please.
Sprint planning typically involves the entire team.
Okay, next one, another person.
A product owner identifies the candidate product backlog items and their relative priorities, as well as purposes a sprint goal.
Yes. New person, third one.
The team members determine how many of the product backlog items they forecast they will be able to complete and determine how they will deliver those product backlog items.
Brilliant. I want someone to read the last one.
A Scrum Master or coach typically facilitates sprint planning in order to ensure that the discussion is effective and that there is an agreement to the sprint goal and that the appropriate product backlog items are included in the sprint backlog.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out, everyone. So now see that it is the product owner who will define what exactly has to be taken inside the discussion of the sprint planning meeting, because those are into the priority, and that will be informed to Scrum Master for sure, so that he will make sure that whatever is being included, only the discussion around that will happen, because he's the organizer, because he's the servant leader, because he's making sure everyone is sticking with the point, and none of the none of the discussion is going out of the topic, and everyone is sticking in the agreement till the end. And one thing is, he has to make sure that entire team is showing up into this meeting, accepting customers. Okay, so because this is something they need to plan towards the part of the goal, and priority is first informed to whom? 3 people. It is product owner, always on top, and then business analyst, and also the Scrum masters. So they are aware what it is going, how it is going to get unfolded. And the one more part is that it is the team only who is going to decide, because deviation is anyway going to come, that how long they are going to take. But at the end, they have to agree upon one item, that during these time frame they can deliver only this much of the work. It should not be less than that, it should not be more than that. It should not burn out the entire team, nor it should put them into completely relaxed mode. Means there should be a justification to the work, and that will happen when capacity, strength, everything gets finalized into the sprint planning meeting. Anything which I'm requiring to cover, let me quickly have a glance on it. Okay. Okay, so how they are going to deliver, they are going to define in this meeting only. So I want someone to read. This is gonna be, I believe, the last slide for today. So I want someone to read last or second last. 2 different people, these 2 different bullet point, please.
A good location for sprint planning is the team room, so that you have access to all the information about your product backlog and you can reference and update any information radiators you may use.
The second person, second bullet.
If your team is distributed, Sprint planning represents a good opportunity to gather everyone together so that your planning discussions can be more effective and to reinforce the person-to-person connections of the team.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So what exactly happened in sprint planning meeting? If two different backlog items are there, they are taken into consideration of this particular sprint. What exactly happens is that two different people might be working on the two different backlogs, and that can be interdependent. And individually, if they are focusing, developing, and at the end it has to be integrated, making sure that if every team member is even geographically distributed, using sprint planning meeting, everyone is meeting, it will appear as good as team meeting, where you are discussing a good part of delivery that is going to happen after certain timeline, that is towards the end of the month or so, or after 2 weeks or so, that is the fortnight development work will be delivered. And there you are making sure that you are knowing every team member, you are aware who is working on what, that whenever it is required for you to refer to some work which is going on and it is impacting your own work, you are always top of that, and you can um, take out some not only just item to refer to learn, so that you continue to develop your work, but also you are knowing the team. But remember this thing, this entire arrangement will be done by again the scrum master. He is making sure that entire team member, even they are geographically distributed, they are connecting back to this meeting remotely. All the details of remote connection has been handled and has been handed over and has been communicated back to entire team members. So this is what uh, this slide is talking about. But one thing is for sure, that where it is going to happen, entire information will be shared. Where, when, and who all will be there. Entire information will be distributed by Scrum Master to the entire team member. So again, this is the Scrum Master's responsibility. Last slide. This will be the last slide. I want three different people to just quickly read these three bullets, please.
Sprint planning occurs on the first day of a new sprint.
Okay, new person, new bullet.
The event should occur after the sprint review and retrospective from the previous sprint so that any output from those discussions can be considered when planning for the new sprint. It does not have to occur immediately after those other two events. You will find it's best to place a higher priority on scheduling sprint planning when the entire team is available.
Third one, new person. Unmute and read.
You may find that it's best to have a standing consistent time for sprint planning so that your team can keep that time slot clear from other engagements.
Yeah, so we are yet to learn about, thank you so much for reading this out, everyone. So we are yet to learn how long this meeting has to go. So we will reveal that in the next session, that is going to be tomorrow. But today, for now, you understand that sprint planning is the first day of the new sprint. Okay. But when it is starting this a fresh project, again, it is going to be the day one. But when you have already delivered one sprint, then the next sprint is when it is restarting as a fresh new sprint. So there you need to remember, it has to happen only after the retrospective. But before retrospective, sprint review meeting will happen. Sometime, why it is written sprint review and retrospective? Because in many culture of the corporate, retrospective is tend to be missed out. I don't want you as a future Scrum Master to missing this out, and that's the reason both the meeting has been written. Otherwise, only one could have been written. That is the retrospective. That's the main reason it is written over here: review and retrospective. If you can see here, okay. So that is one thing. Yeah. What else? So it has to be always consistent. So the more meaning behind this, you may find that it is best to have standing consistent time for sprint planning, so that the team can keep the time slot clear. More detail on this you will get to see in the next upcoming slide, because there the timing is very very much clear, that how long which all meeting has to go, and it has to be pre-informed to each one of us. In fact, every team member into the team, every team member into the team, everyone is well aware that how long this meeting is there and how long everyone is going to stand there in that meeting. So any questions so far, guys? Any questions
No.
so far? Okay, if not, then yeah, someone is trying to say something. Yeah, so I heard some voice. So if not, then I have something that is now time for the quick attendance who all were here. So what I want to tell you and ask you, that go back and just in this you are going to type what has been your quick learning, or just what do you feel like saying. Okay, what do you feel like saying now? Okay, I want to read each one of yours uh, answer here. Okay, and this will be marking your uh, attendance as well. All right, everyone. So go back and uh, drop your response. I'm going to personally review each one of your responses, and will again talk to you soon. I hope this one was really quite engaging for you. Okay. Thank you so much for staying till the end, and still till the end you are responding, interacting, and engaging into this. So it is going to be super exciting tomorrow as well. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye and good night.
Thanks,
Good
thanks,
night.
you.
Priya.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Gaurav.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
So,
Good
Thank you.
night.
Bye bye.
Gaurav sir,
Yes, sir. Kabi.
what is the link for that 30-day challenge?
Okay. So you just DM me, send me a message, and I'll share that with you. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
All
yeah.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All righty.
Thank you,
All right.
everyone. Bye
Good night.
bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you. Bye.